We're Janine and Joe, and you're watching our channel, Nova Scotia Land and Sea. Please subscribe and join us while we share what we learned while sailing and fixing up our first sailboat. In this episode, Janine and I tackle repairing and refinishing our dated teak flooring. So you can see this 36-year-old flooring definitely needs some attention. Stay tuned till the end when we reveal how many hours this project took.
I just took the floor pieces up and it's quite dirty underneath. So I'm just gonna take the shop vac and clean that up.
Hey folks, working on a little project at home here. Have a piece of flooring from Rhea. She's a little bit water damaged, particularly the corners have some delamination. And what I'm going to try and do today is eject epoxy in there and then clamp it down, and hopefully it'll make this flooring nice and secure and usable for years to come. You can see right here these layers, they're starting to come apart. This is actually the least bad corner. So I'm going to start here, see if my method works. Tools and supplies, what we're working with today. It's West System Marine Epoxy, the epoxy and the hardener. I have a little solo cup, which I've cut the top off of so I can squeeze it like this. What I've gotten is this cutting board from IKEA, flexible cutting board, because I know epoxy is going to seep and I don't want it to stick to my wood that I'm going to use. So I'm going to layer this and then wood on either side, and then I'm going to take some clamps and clamp it down. Rubber gloves, very important. And of course, if you're working with epoxy, make sure you're not wearing anything you don't want to ruin. What's great about this West System Marine Epoxy is you can just do one pump to one pump for epoxy, one pump of hardener. Visual there. Mix that up. We have our syringe with epoxy all mixed in. Eject some epoxy on either side. Okay, you don't want to do too much because it's definitely going to seep. Don't want it to fall apart any more than it already has. So I'm doing some plastic and then wood. I'm going to take the big clamp here, clamp that together. All right, so now, as you can see, this side is way worse. There's actually a piece that comes out here. Not after today though. It's the next day and I'm gonna take the clamps off. Plastic popped off, no problem. Like the layers are nice and stuck, which is what we want. A little excess on the bottom that we'll sand off. Some little cracks here and there, we'll fill those with a filler. But this has been a success and we're gonna go ahead and apply the same process to the other side, which is worse. Once we put the clamps on, a lot of the epoxy seeps out. That's okay, we'll sand off what we need to, but it looks like pretty solid coverage, so we'll leave this for another day and see how it looks. Everything seems together. I don't see any movement. Okay, last corner here. Everything seems to be stuck together really well. Even this top laminated piece, which is really thin. Some excess on the bottom, which of course I'll be scraping and sanding off. Overall, I think I'm happy with how things finish. All right, I'm back after 6 rounds of epoxy. I'm gonna call this piece of flooring saved. At the beginning, this was completely coming apart. The corners especially were all delaminated. And so we put the epoxy in there. They're nice and solid now. They're not coming apart, they're not splitting, no gaps. Great. The back was completely flaking off, falling apart. So it's all together now. With some sanding, it should come a lot cleaner than it looks right now. And then most importantly, we get to sand this and refinish it with the rest of the flooring.
Hey.
Hey.
We are here at my parents' house currently and we're getting ready to start the sanding process of refinishing the teak floors. So we have our masks here. If you are sanding with an oil-based finish, you should definitely wear a mask.
And we're double teaming it. We have 2 sanders and we're gonna see if we can get through this in less time than we think it's gonna take.
Less time than we think it's gonna take.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
We have the first piece sanded. This is with an 80 grit, and then we are gonna go over everything with a finer grit of sandpaper, but you can see this is what we're starting with, and then this is the end goal. Joe, how's it going over here?
It's going, but I think we've determined it's not going to take less time than we thought.
No, it's definitely gonna take more time. We are absolutely filthy, and so is the garage. But we're done for the day. We are not done sanding. It's taking longer.
Way too long. We got through 6 of 10 pieces. Luckily, they're the bigger ones.
Yeah, just the small ones left.
And then we just have to go over them again with a finer grit. So next time we will get it done.
But look how nice.
Very nice.
It's gonna look so good.
Oh yeah.
We are back, day 2, sanding.
Feels like forever.
This is probably, I'm gonna say it's taking twice as long as what I thought it was going to.
I'd say 3 times then, but that's the way it goes.
Yep.
We'll finish removing the varnish on 5 pieces today, and then we'll go up to like a 120 or 180 grit, and then we're gonna be putting a new finish on it.
Yeah, and there's a couple pieces that we have to fill, just like minor holes are damaged, so we'll have everything cleaned up and we'll be back for a 3rd day, put the varnish on. Next step, filling all the little holes and repairing any of the pieces that need a little bit of repair. We are back here at my parents' house, and we are gonna do the final touch-ups on the wood fill, and we're gonna get at least the first coat of the stain on all of the flooring today. Well, yeah, we're only doing the first coat because it has to dry for 24 hours before we can do the second coat. I am, as Joe is sanding the pieces that are, or had the second coat of fill, I'm gonna go in with these stain markers and I'm gonna blend the wood fill in with the rest of the floor because it doesn't match, as you can see. So I'm gonna try to make it match as best as I can.
For a stain, we're using this Sikkens natural teak color, and so we're gonna do probably 3 coats of this. We don't want to put a clear coat on top. We kind of want to leave the satin finish.
And if you use just this product without the top coat, then you can go back later and add an additional coat on top of it without having to sand it, versus if you do the high gloss finish on the top and then you have to touch it up down the road, then you would have to sand that off. So we don't want to have to do this project ever again.
Ever again.
So this piece is where we had the table mounted, and you can see that we filled in all of these little screw holes and they kind of stand out right now. So I just have a stain marker and I'm just kind of lightly coloring over those, and I know you're looking at them right now and thinking it does not blend in, and I am aware of that, but you have to trust the process. I'm putting a stain on, just letting it dry for a second, and then sand it. And I'm just gonna do that a couple times and help those holes to blend in a little bit. This is with those little holes being filled in with that stain, and you can see that they just kind of blend in now.
The varnish we chose uses a brush-on application and requires 24 hours between coats. One eternity later.
Okay, we are back here today, and this is after coat 1. You can really see by how matte this is that the first coat of stain really soaked in completely, so we are definitely gonna have to do at least 3 coats.
We made sure to get all of the edges and holes while watching for drips.
All right, we are here doing the very last coat of the varnish on the flooring. This has taken way longer than what I thought it was going to.
Yeah, it's been a multi-week process, and we're looking forward to finishing it and getting it back in the boat real soon.
So you can see right now this is with 2 coats, and it has like a nice satin finish, and we're gonna do 1 more coat. They recommend 2 to 3, and that will seal everything in really well. It's not gonna have a really high gloss finish like it had before. We wanted to keep it with more of a satin finish.
Looks really good though. I'm happy so far. All
Yeah, it's looking really good.
right, let's finish it up. This was just after our last cut. We'll be back tomorrow to pick up the flooring and have it ready to bring back to Rhea once we have a nice day. A week later, we had a nice Saturday, so we headed over to the yacht club.
Already got snow in my boots. Okay, here we are underneath the cover. We're gonna get ourselves all situated, get our bags down below, and we're gonna clean up the floor first because it's still pretty dirty. I brought some hot water over so that we can clean it properly. It's pretty awkward underneath this cover because it's really tight quarters. So I think Joe's gonna have to snip some of the zip ties that we have and pull this partially back so that we can get the flooring onto the boat. Joe's really excited to be here today.
It's cold. Not too bad though. We've waited for a warmer weather window. I think it's a -5 or 6 or something this morning.
Balmy, beautiful day.
It has been like -10, 15.
All right, this is what we're working with that we need to get cleaned up. It's not too bad because we tried to clean it as best we could, but got my favorite cleaner, spray 9 and some hot water. And Joe has our new handy Ryobi.
Usually light.
Light. Actually does a really good job. Yuck. Getting better. There's some scratches in the fiberglass, so it's not gonna come perfect. Also, the water that I'm using is freezing as I'm cleaning. First piece to go in is gonna be this piece, which goes in the kitchen and is definitely the most awkward piece that we need to put in because part of it slides underneath the cabinet. So we're gonna get this piece in first.
We'll twist it into place. I'll probably have to pull the shims out and hold the cabinet up.
And then I'll slide it underneath.
I think that's how we took it out. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, piece number 2. Okay, now we put
The stairs back.
stairs in place, unless they cover up that corner one.
Yeah, they just slightly, I think they'll fit on. I know. Wow, now I want to redo all of the rest of the varnish because look how good this floor looks compared to that.
Spring job. Seriously.
Oh yeah, this one is jammed slightly underneath that door frame of the bathroom, so I might need your help getting it in.
Piece going in. Yeah, I'm not gonna screw it in yet. We have things to do, but
yeah,
finished look right there.
All right, now we'll give you a look of all the floor here. Okay, grand reveal.
Here's the finished flooring back in place. The difference is night and day, and we're really happy with how it turned out. It was a lot of work, but if it lasts another 30+ years, it was well worth the effort.
This is that piece that was like really water damaged and it looks way better. Joe did a really good job with all the epoxy. We just have this hole here from where the table was. We'll figure out something that we can put over that. We're not screwing everything down right now because we will probably still need to get under there. We did it. It was a lot of work and it took way more time and hours than what we thought that it was going to, but we're really happy with the results.
Yeah, when you work full time, you kind of have to squeeze in a little bit here and there. And we've been working on this for 2 months, believe it or not. It's quite the adventure, but not very expensive. We bought the varnish. It was $55. We used some sanding discs, which we already had, and that was about it. So it takes time, but not very expensive.
So this project, in total, we spent about 23 hours between the two of us, between the epoxying, sanding, varnishing, and putting the floors back in. So like Joe said, not expensive, just labor intensive.
The big thing is we don't have to deal with this in the spring.
Yeah.
We get to focus on more important things, or what we deem to be more important. So this is out of the way, and yeah, we're looking forward to our next projects.
Yes, we are. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Please subscribe.
Cheers.
Cheers.